Brian Roisentul here. I'm the host of the Fit Growth Machine podcast, where I talk with top leaders in the fitness industry. Before introducing today's guest, let me tell you that this episode is brought to you by BSR Digital. At BSR Digital, we help fitness brands that want to scale their business to the next level through Facebook, Instagram, and Google Ads. BSR Digital knows that most e-commerce brands want to grow their sales, but they lack a solid plan and professional team to help them succeed. That's why BSR Digital offers strategic plans, implementations, optimizations, and account audits to help more than 1,000 e-commerce brands like yours grow their businesses and surpass their competitors. To learn more, visit bsrdigital.com. That's bsrdigital.com, or you can email us at hello@bsrdigital.com. Okay, so today I have a great guest. His name is Lou. He's the CEO at Echelon Fitness Multimedia. So, hi, Lou. Thanks for being on the show.
Hey, thanks, Brian. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, of course. So, please, why don't you tell me and the audience what the company does?
Well, Echelon Fitness is a connected fitness company manufacturing a good breadth of products from bikes to treadmills to rowers to smart fitness mirrors. We sell globally in, I believe, 15 different countries today. We not only make these great products, but they're connected. We create great content. We have over 70 trainers that film the classes from 5 different studios globally, 5 different locations, over 25 different studios. And we create over 2,000 classes, I think, a month right now. We're creating great fitness, great content, and a amazing community that's for our members.
Oh, that's great. And how did the company get started?
Well, the company got started from originally. I founded a company in 2002, which was called Viatech. Viatech was a product development company that developed products, and these products would eventually turn into brands. In 2015, we started working in fitness products, Viatech, and from that we created an app, and the app transformed into a company, into a community, into a brand called Echelon. And it didn't happen overnight. Everyone thinks it seems like it happened overnight for us, but I've been making products for over 20 some years, and great relationships and a great team that we had in Biotech. We pretty much moved them all to Echelon in 2019, and Echelon stood on its own at that point.
Oh, that's awesome. So, you said that you started as a bike manufacturer, right? And then you mentioned an app, and now you mentioned that you generate a lot of content and you have a lot of trainers recording a lot of classes all day. So, how was that transition from a bike manufacturer to a content generation machine?
Well, I'll tell you, Brian, it wasn't easy, and it's still not easy today. When you look at our company, if you take a company, you break it into buckets, right? You have the manufacturing of products, and then you have the media creation, where you're creating tons of media, tons of content. You're creating, I don't know if we're creating as much as Netflix, but it seems like we're creating more than Netflix. Just constantly creating classes that almost are created 24 hours a day, because we have studios in the UK, France, and Germany, and we have several studios in the US. So you have the content, then you have the app as well. So you have a whole team dedicated just for this app, creating this app with the features and the benefits and the and streaming, live streaming. As well, and then you have the membership. So it's kind of like 4 companies in one. It's very complex. From a guy who's a product guy who loves creating great product, and the reason you see the product behind me, because I use the product every day. I get feedback, I get suggestions, I work with our product testing guys on them. But now there's so many facets of this company, and it's so complicated, but it's also so exciting, and it brings a great challenge for me at this point in my career.
Yeah, so that's great. And let me break that down, because I'm curious, right? You said that you have like four companies in one,
Yeah.
and why did you decide to add those extra layers? I mean, you had the original one, let's say, and then you added the other layers. But why did you feel that was important to your customers?
Well, when we first created the app, the idea was to create some content. It was funny, the way we did it is we were actually selling to a client, QVC, and we, we looked at we were having such great success in fitness. We decided, well, let's create an app. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this office here. I'm going to turn it into a studio, and I'm going to hire some instructors, and I'm going to film 150 classes, and we're going to launch it. And the customer spoke, and the customer loved it. They loved content. They loved um, the instructors we selected were real people. They were, similar, like them, with different ages, different fitness levels, but all in love with fitness. And the customer spoke, and they loved it. And that's what really, that grew from there. With, if we didn't have that success, I don't know if we would have went down that path. But success bred this company. And from there, it's the model was born. And we eventually got out of that small office and opened up our a big studio for filming the content. My background, not only is product, but my background is also TV. We've done a lot of things on television. I've had a lot of big hits on television, and I've gone on QVC and Home Shopping Network. And so the production, the creating the commercials, creating the content was something that was not new to me. And that detail, the pitch, and even in a fitness class, there is a pitch to it. There's a beginning, middle, and end, right? And problem solution type of approach. So that wasn't new to us. We were already filming a lot of support and video. So our company wasn't new to that. It was just redirecting our team to focus on this fitness, and which we just saw there was a gap in the industry for a brand that was not a brand that was targeting the top 2%ers, right? We were going off after the mass population, and creating a brand and a community that they could relate to, which I think there was a gap at that time, and we've been successful in solving it.
Yeah, what I love about your story and what you just said is that you combined your personal background with your company, and you said, "Hey, how can we create value in a different way than any other company?" And you added a layer that probably many business owners would have to think of that as a distraction. We sell bikes, we don't film content, we don't know how to do that, or we do, but probably it's not our strengths or our focus. And you bet on that. And now, of course, it's easy to say, oh, it was really successful, but I'm sure there was some bumps in the road at the time, and it wasn't easy. And getting traction for that app and getting the consumers to trust you and to so I guess that wasn't easy. So yeah, I mean, congrats. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, and you're right. When we first did this, I have a few people we were doing business with in the industry, and I told them what I was doing. They're like, "Man, that's a big feat you're taking on." And we took it on without raising private equity money. We didn't go out and raise $200 million and then create this product. We had a successful company at the time, and we had great relationships with some of our banks, like JP Morgan Chase, and others banks. But we really we rolled our success from other products that we were doing into this, and kind of bet the farm and said, we're going after this. We think there's an opportunity here. We think we can build something special. And thankfully the bet paid off for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it's not that you only build a company and then on top of that all the content you build, but also you have built great partnerships along the way that when you told me for the first time, I was blown away. I was expecting to meet just another bike company, which is fine. But you blow my mind when you said about when you mentioned the content creation machine, and then when you said the partnerships that you have built over the years, I was blown away. So could you please talk about that a little bit?
Sure, sure. Well, I prior to Echelon, I had great relationships with retailers like in the U.S. Big retailers are Walmart, obviously Costco, Sam's Club, Target, Kohl's, QVC. I hope I'm not missing anyone, but Dick's Sporting Goods. So we had relationships with these retailers. So we were fortunate enough to already have contacts and relationships. So we were able to get our product in and pretty quickly and penetrate that market quickly and get in front of the customers. We're in 12,000 stores today. But also, we also went and worked on partnerships with content too. And this came from some of my relationships, but also some of the people we hired over the past few years that actually I knew from other relationships. I knew from other partnerships over the years. I mean, we just inked the deal yesterday with Warner Brothers, where we're doing accessories and apparel with DC Comics, and you're going to see fitness stuff with the Warner Brothers brands, these iconic superheroes and stuff. Wait till you see what we're doing. It's really cool. But just some of these relationships. Another relationship we have is with Disney. You're going to see a big announcement with us and Disney, but we also already did a partnership with the Jungle Cruise with them. Again, just from our relationships. We did a big partnership, and also he invested in us. Pitbull, Mr. 305. This guy is amazing. There's not a higher stand-up person that I've probably met in my life. When you think of people you want to be like, it's not because Pitbull can party and he can, he's Mr. 305, but this man is a man of integrity, and he's just such a great person. I'm happy to share some stories about him. But we just have been able to partner with great companies that really have raised the platform and raised our brand faster than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah, I mean, and if I got it right when we first met, did Pitbull create a song for you guys that was then
Yeah.
released public?
Yeah. So, the way Pitbull happened, Dara is on our team. She handles our partnerships and relationships. And actually, Dara used to be at Disney. So obviously there's some our Disney relationships. And so Dara introduced us to Pitbull. And, the first time I didn't go to the first meeting, and I went to the second meeting. And of course, you got to go to Miami, and you got to meet Armando on his yacht. And you got to, have a couple of toasts with Armando. But he was just so sincere and so opening to us. And I'm sitting there, and he goes, Lou, I've been working on this song. I think this is the anthem for Echelon, and it happens to be, today it's a top 50 hit. I feel good. It's a really a great feeling song, and he started playing it for me and kind of dancing and singing as Pitbull does. And I pinched myself and said, this is an unbelievable. Where did this my career turn, that I'm sitting here chatting with Pitbull and breaking bread with him, and he's singing a song to me. So yeah, it was a great experience. And from then he's become a good friend, and he's a great partner, and almost in a sense a mentor, even though he's younger than me. But I just love what he does, as he gives back and everything else he does in his career.
Wow, what a story. No, that's great, because I mean, I would guess that probably more than 90% of the entrepreneurs would love to have someone they look up to, or a celebrity, or anybody that's well known to endorse them, to partner with, and all stuff. And most of them would think that's impossible. But as you said, looking in your network, a friend of a friend, and
Yeah,
things can happen. And if you knock on the doors, uh, after a few no's, you will get some yes.
of
And
course.
that's a great lesson to yeah, to look. your network and to knock on the doors, because you probably you have never guessed that someone like Pitbull or Disney or anybody else you mentioned would partner with your company, or they would release a song for your company or whatever, and they
Yeah.
did, right?
No, it is amazing, and we're blessed too. I mean, you know, a lot of people when you have a business, you're knocking on doors and introducing them to the first time. But we've been blessed enough that they're knocking on our doors. We know we did a partnership with Corona last year. It was during the pandemic. We did Corona happy hours every Friday night, where we just we gave away Corona merchandise, and we weren't drinking on the set, but we were like, hey, we're having a good time, we're gonna have fun, and hey, this is kind of sponsored by Corona, our friends, and Corona. We gave away some bikes for Corona. Corona put us on displays in all these retail stores where they're talking health, and some of their newer seltzers are more health, and they have a low carb beer as well, which is amazing, by the way. And my go-to. But they came to us, and these different partnerships where they're coming to us is something I would have never saw happening in 2015, 17. So we're blessed. I mean, it's not the normal story, for sure.
Yeah, and as you said, the important thing is also having fun, right? It's not only having a successful company. If you don't enjoy the ride, then why doing it?
Yeah, I mean, as we've all had our, gym memberships over the years, right? And New Year's come, we all sign up, and I guess that from what I understand, 80% of the people, cancel or stop going. They don't always cancel; they stop going in by February, and I guess the average gym membership is about 6 months. So the reason is because it's monotonous. After a while, it's the same thing. You're going in, your chest, shoulders, back and buys, tries, a little hit. So you got to mix it up, and you got to have fun. So at Echelon, we try to really have fun. We create great content, and we have great challenges, and great fitness. But we also have fun. We try to we bring music into it. We work with the artists. We created that Pitbull channel, and the Pitbull classes are fun. Great lights, great bass, great energy. And I mentioned about the Corona. But we're also we have new artists that are coming on, like new artists and partnerships that we're going to be launching very soon. We've done rides with Lady Gaga. We're excited about like her 10-year anniversary of an album, so they get behind us and do a music ride with us. So, we're always trying to change it up. We're doing, we do two instructors sometimes, where it becomes almost like one's playing off the other, and it becomes a great little challenge and repertoire between the two. But there's always something changing. Heart rate classes we just launched. So again, you got to mix it up, and if you don't mix it up, people are going to get bored, and that's not what I want. I am you. I am the person who's gone to work out. And one of the reasons we created this, Brian, is because my doctor said, Lou, you got to get your blood pressure under control. You got to get your cholesterol under control. And by the way, why don't you drop 20 pounds? So, and that's what I did. I mean, now, working out is fun because, we're trying to make it fun for everyone. And I hope people are seeing that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, and when you were saying all of this interesting stuff, I was thinking about this book I read recently. The author is Alex Hormozy. He's a great deal in the fitness industry. And the book is called, if I recall correctly, The $100 Million Offer. Uh, and he's great. The book is great as well. And something he says is that you need to offer value. Like many business books says that, right? You need to offer value and way higher than the cost for what you offer. But when offering value is not about only what you do or what
Yeah.
you offer, let's say a bike or whatever product you offer, right? The rubbers, all the stuff. It's about what people need to do before and after you offer that. Like they need to use that. And probably if you sell the bike, that would be great. Many companies do sell sports gear, but then people don't use it. So there's an opportunity there to guide them on how to use it. You can do it, he says, let's say one to many, one to one, or
Yeah.
in small group. So you decided actually a practical way to apply what he said, of course, way before he said
Yeah.
that, but it's a it's a concept that sounded pretty interesting to me. That
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I offer X, Y, and Z services, but my client before and after acquiring them need to do X, and probably won't do it. They won't do it on their own unless
Yeah.
I encourage them to. So he created a whole world around what you do or what you used to do as the main core
Yeah.
offer of your company, and you allowed people to have fun with it, to be constant, to use the equipment, and to meet awesome people, to network, to do everything that they did that they couldn't do on their own. And that's great. And I was thinking about all that. So did you did that consciously? Have you got that concept from before, or it was only intuition?
I think it's intuition a little bit, but again, the community speaks to us. We listen to our community. We have I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm actually listening. There's a podcast that's out there too. That these two writers that are members of our community that created this podcast, and every other week they just talk about what's going on. I listen to them too. It's like I learn, and I learn from our community. I learn, and sometimes our community, 99% of the time seems like the community loves us, and that 1% of the time that there's someone who's complaining, and we listen to them, and they'll see me posting on social media. I'll reply and say, hey, I hear you. I'm getting back to you. So it's from them that you learn and you adapt. I mean, obviously we wanted to create something that wasn't just going to sit in your room, your house, and create, collect dust and just be someplace for a hang your clothes on. We had to create great content. We had to hire great instructors. We just hired a new instructor. I was just riding her class earlier today, and they're just, our team is just finding these amazing instructors that will, they really engage with our community, and they don't just fit. We try not to do is just fit in one mold. They got to be beautiful, they got to be perfect physical condition, and they have to have this perfect voice. We don't, that's not our community. We have, I mean, they're all beautiful, and everyone's beautiful, obviously, and everyone's got a great voice. I'm not trying to knock any of them, but I'm just saying we don't try to follow that one specimen that we got to find this perfect instructor because she or he is perfect in every way. Our instructors are like you. We're not perfect. We all aren't perfect, but we're all striving to be better and healthier, and getting a much more rounded life. If it's it's fitness, and if it's proper eating and health and nutrition and sleep. We're all trying to do that and be better, and that's what they're doing, and they're just real people. The connection with our community, our instructor is off the chart, and I'll sit there and I get so engaged reading these posts when these people when our members, our community makes change, and they lose weight, they get healthier, they just have a better life because of us. And that's something I wasn't doing in the past. When we were developing I developed a laser Christmas light. That was one of our big things. We sold 17 million Christmas lights. We outsold bananas in Walmart. Was I changing people's lives? Was I making a difference? Was I making people healthier? No. And yes, maybe someone didn't fall off a ladder when they were setting their lights up for Christmas, but there's so much more to this. It's so inspiring to me, and they inspire me. This morning I worked out at 6 a.m. because I read a post, and it got me motivated. I got up and I went and rode on our rower for 45 minutes. So
Wow.
yeah,
That,
it's amazing.
no, it's amazing. I mean, you do something meaningful for your customers. You care. I can tell that you care,
Yeah.
and that's probably the joy. I mean, it's fun, and you also get. I mean, you have an impact in people's lives with what you're doing, and that's amazing. So, you have built a great company, of course. Congrats on that, and
Okay.
and many, yeah, And many people want to do it too. And they say, oh, but I have an offer. I'm probably starting out or I'm, not probably starting out, but I want to scale and grow. And the challenge for most people and companies is to get traction. In this case, to get traffic, to get conversions. In your case, to get purchases, to get new members.
Yeah.
How do you do that? What are the main drivers of traffic and sales for Echelon?
Well, initially when we launched the product, it was a lot of digital. We couldn't afford TV and radio, so we did a lot of digital, targeting, Google AdWords, Facebook posts, YouTube, and still today that's a big part of our budget. Creating great content for the digital world. We also now have national TV campaigns. We have a new campaign with Pitbull in the commercial coming out in a couple of weeks, which I'm excited for everyone to hear. I actually helped write it with Pitbull. And then we have a radio spot with Pitbull as well, and a radio spot from myself that's launching in December, founder spot. But it's a lot. It started off, testing things and digitally, where you can do it a little bit less expensive. You can get out there and buy some keywords so you get some traction. But it's not just, everyone's when you learn, you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting this many clicks, and I say, okay, well, clicks great, but how many did you convert? So it's not just creating a great ad. And you're going to learn from your ad. You obviously you're going to test a lot of ads. We're constantly testing ads, right? Will white background better than a standard photo background? Will text? What's the text look like? I mean, there's so many different intricacies, in all of this. But then once you get them to the site, you got to convert. And why is it not converting? Why is it converting more now than others? The complexity we have also is we sell a lot of retailers. So, we're out there merchant, selling our product, and, we have to look at, okay, well, we didn't convert here, but hey, we sold, 70 bikes yesterday at Costco or at Walmart and Target. So, it's really trying to really understand that, the value of your efforts and make sure they turn into sales and then to try to track them. I mean, it's gotten very complicated, right?
Yeah, and even more when you have a complex business like yours. I mean, with, as you said, 4 companies in one, probably it's even more complex than for an e-commerce, a regular e-commerce store. But yeah, I love it. I mean, you talked a little bit about acquisition, and then you spoke briefly before about retention, right?
Yeah.
When we were talking about making things fun. Probably even reading a message in the morning will encourage you to exercise and keep you active in the community. So that's the great partnerships you have. So I say that most companies who focus on the acquisition is like, I want new customers, right? But then you have a leaky bucket and those customers leave and they don't stay long, they don't buy from you again. So it's important, like retention. So do you do anything besides what you discussed, what you said earlier about being fun? Do you have any strategy or any advice for e-commerce owners, mainly in the fitness industry, for the retention phase to retain their customers long time or as long as possible?
Well, if you have a good product, it should be easier to retain your customer than it is to find a new customer. So you definitely need to, if you're seeing large amounts of churn, you got to listen to your customer. We've created, if someone wants to leave us, we've created, questionnaires trying to understand, why are they leaving us? Is it a price? Is it content? Is it just because they need a break? Is it fitness? Is it because they're injured? So we're really trying to understand, and we ask them the questions. So even if they call our call center, or if they opt out, via the website, we want to understand them. And then of course we make adjustments. If we're seeing it's trending that the people are getting injured, well, maybe we'll do more. We'll push more flexibility on our classes, right? We'll push more recovery classes, because we see people are hurting themselves or burning themselves out, right? They're working out so much, and it happens. You work out all the time. You can have that, so you have to have recovery, and that's one of the things we added recently. We're adding a lot of recovery stuff, warm-up classes, cool-down classes. So you really, again, it's just all about listening, but you have to build these systems where you can create it and build graphs and understand, like, okay, 80% of the time, this is what's causing these people to leave us. How do we fix that? And that's what we're still today. We're still learning and building that, because when someone leaves us, it hurts. We're like, why are they leaving us? Where are they going? I mean, how can we save them? And we try. We have, we go outbound, call them, and ask them these questions, and try to have save offers if if there's a problem. Because we want them to stay with us. We want them to love us, and we do everything we can to keep the community engaged.
Yeah, and also you care about learning from those surveys, calls, all the stuff. What's what is it that they are not happy with, and what's what they are struggling with that you can help them with. So you're
Exactly.
you care, you show them that, and you're trying to deliver the best value possible. And it is I mean, I guess that
And
as we said,
some people aren't right for us, and we're not right for them. But we
yeah, that always
that's going to happen. You're going to have those people. I mean, let's be frank. But but we try to help as many people as we can and hope we can.
yeah, and here what amazed me still is that you went beyond the imagination to actually make the retention phase easier, because if you only sold, let's say, bikes or rowers, probably that would be more difficult to keep a customer like with you, right? Because
Yeah.
how many bikes can you sell to a single customer? So
Yeah.
you went beyond limits to say, hey, why don't you stay with me, because I'm going to offer you a full experience to use what I'm selling you. Or you told me, if I got it right, that you even have a lot of members that haven't bought, I mean, or didn't buy your equipment
Yeah.
when they joined, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They buy. We have a Fit Pass, which is like less than $12 a month, and they come in through the Fit Pass. Then the Fit Pass has yoga and core and kick. Actually, I did a 20-minute kickboxing class this morning, and I'm a little sore from some moves that my legs weren't used to. We have thousands of different classes, and so much, from meditation to again to a HIIT class, high intensity training. Um, but yeah, people come in that way. They see our platform. They see our instructors. They love our classes, and then they'll come in and buy a bike or buy a treadmill. And then they love our treadmill. They buy a rower. So and that's what we love, that people are building gyms. I was touched a few months back. I was on social media, and this gentleman, I mean, he took this room in his house, and you think I have a nice gym here? He painted it our colors and had logos and had pictures on the wall with our instructors with sayings, and it was amazing. And that we can touch someone, that they go that far to create this in their home was just amazing. And I wish everyone would do that, but I know that's a big feat. But for this guy, just one person to do it, just really just touched me. And I think I told you also about this lady who got a tattoo with the Echelon name and a bike with an Echelon on her. And we're touching people, that they're investing their arm into us.
It has a meaning
Amazing,
to
right? It's just shocking. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's because it has, I mean, Echelon, the brand name has a meaning to them. And
Yeah.
that's amazing. And you go that deep, and I love it. I mean, honestly, this is not even a company. This is a more than that. It's a community. This is their
Yeah.
life, right? It's
Yeah.
so deep. So I love that. But so I know probably this question wasn't planned, but I know that we sometimes when you create a company, the path could be really lonely sometimes if you are the only owner. And even if you're not, like, sometimes you want to talk to someone. So have you had mentors that you recall, and you recall what their best advice was? If you can think of
Oh,
any.
you know, I had I actually had a professor in college. He was my marketing professor. Dr. Morris. And I actually called him. I went to University of Central Florida in Orlando, Florida. And I think today, well, a few years ago, he was working at University of Florida. And, I really, when he was my professor, I really fell in love with marketing. And, he made it fun. During class, he was outgoing, and sometimes he yelled, and sometimes sometimes he had this passion that I love. And he really got me excited about marketing, and the 3 Ps, and product, price, place, the whole thing, right? So and then I went and I studied in Sweden, and I went and did an exchange program in Sweden, and he actually came over and visited us, our class. We had maybe 3 or 4 people from my university there, and I had about 200 students from all being taught in English and from all over the world. And I'm still friends with, communicate on social media with 30, 40 of them still today. But he pushed me when I asked him about, going on this exchange program, and he's like, Lou, you need to do it. He goes, what you're going to learn on that trip is you're going to learn a lot in education, but you're going to learn about being with people from different cultures, different parts of the world, different religions, different upbringings. When you grow up in a small town, you really, or even any size town, you got your little world around you, right? You have your friends, you have your little bubble, you have your, these are people I hang out with. If you're a jock, you hang out with a jock. If you're a musician, you hang out. If you're a drummer, he goes, there you're all being placed into this one area, and you're all just kind of not forced to get to know each other, but you get to know these people. I roomed with people from Finland and from Norway. I became like great friends with my friend Bjorn from Norway, and you just really got to understand people and be open-minded to people. And I think he pushed me to do that. And so I would say that was a life-changing experience for me. And my family ended up calling me International Lou after that, because I was very open-minded to the world. And today, reason why we do business in all these countries is because I really believe we need to be, we don't want to just be a U.S. company. We want to be a global company, a global brand, and I think we can create great content, great products for all around the world. So I know I didn't tell you that story before, but
No, that's an awesome story, actually. And yeah, some people changes you for in a positive way, right?
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and that's a great one. And you're very lucky to have met him right back then,
Yeah.
because some people just come in the right time, at the right time, at the right moment, and that's awesome. And are there, probably not mentors, but other people that you admire? It could be business owners, it could be celebrities, besides people, of course, we mentioned
Sure.
it already, but anybody else that you say, oh, someday I want to do what this guy does.
I don't really know. When I was younger, it was my father, of course, and my grandfather. They were always hard workers, and my grandfather, worked very hard, and came from Italy and came over to U.S. and as an immigrant, he worked hard and built an amazing business that they were in. So the work ethic, I think, comes from the family. 20-hour day work some days. I mean, you do what you got to do to get it done, right? But of course, when I was in college, I read a lot of books. Back then it was, Lee Iacocca, and I don't know if it's positive or negative thing today, but I read The Art of the Deal with Mr. Trump and Donald Trump, and I would read lots of business books because I was just fascinated with entrepreneurs and businessmen, and I'd also read in books that would help self-improvement and help you become a better person. But I was really fascinated with just business books of people who are successful, and I wanted to be successful and do something that's made a change in people's lives as well. But they really inspired me because these a lot of these stories, were, they came from nothing, and they were able to build something. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Could you name, if you remember, of course, right now, what are some of those books that probably changed the way you think or saw some things in life?
Oh my gosh, you're
Top
pulling it,
three
pulling
that
it.
you remember that.
This we're talking years ago. Today, as I said, today I don't read as many books as I probably should. Because I'm more into the reading my community social.
Of course.
I'm trying to learn from them, and I do learn from them. Not only motivate me to work out, but
Yeah, I mean, books
be a
books are
better
great.
person, right?
Book,
Um,
books are great, and they take you. They give you like a lot of knowledge. But
yeah,
as I read recently, not because you read about how to swim, you're going to know how to swim. So you need to
yeah.
do things. You need to put them in practice, and that's what you have been doing over the years. So educating yourself is great, and it's an important part of the journey. But
Of
then
course.
for the audience, probably try not to fall into the trap of reading, and not doing what those
Not
books say.
applying it. Yeah, you
So
have to apply that for sure. And I think, I read the newspaper, or news. Today it's more new. You read news, you try to understand what's going on in the world. And I try to just listen to people around me, and learn from people, and never stop learning, even if it's actions. Embarrassing story. A couple of days ago, I got into a little misunderstanding with an employee, and I didn't act as appropriate as I thought. I was kind of like, I was kind of mad at him, right? So I kind of jumped at him a little bit, and then the next day I said, hey, I'm sorry. Because you gotta learn. You learn from yourself, you learn from what you read, you learn from your friends, your family, and you got to keep improving. And I think that's what we all will learn in life. Every day you got to try to be a better person and improve.
that's the important thing after all. So yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. So yeah, so before we wrap up, is there anything I didn't ask you that you think that will benefit the audience?
Well, when we're talking a little bit here about building a business and stuff, and I tell everyone, don't be afraid to pivot. That's a word that I constantly put in my head. If things aren't working well in your business, or don't be afraid to change and modify, because that's the customer, is the one who's voting on this at the end of the day. And if they don't like your product, you're not going to stay around. So don't be afraid to make a change. I mean, with our classes, if we find a class, is not working well, we try to, how can we change it? How can we modify? How can we make it better so people like it? So never be afraid to pivot. Even if you're doing you're a restaurant, you're an Italian restaurant, right? And you're not doing well. You're like, well, why are we not doing well? Is it because maybe they don't like the seating service, or maybe our menu is too traditional? We have to be more more contemporary on our menu. So don't be afraid. And that's what specials are on restaurants, right? A special is is something for you to try something new. And if customer loves it, I mean, if they love the vegetarian, do more vegetarian, right? So don't never be afraid to pivot in a business. But we created a great thing at Echelon. I am blessed by it. I am blessed by my community. I am blessed by our team that who've come to work for us and help build this. And I'm grateful that I can have time with someone like yourself, Brian, and tell this story. And I hope it's a story that people can be inspired by, and learn from us. And hey, if they want to check out Echelon, check us out. We love to have you.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, that's amazing, and it's an awesome lesson. I share the same thought. In fact, one of the main things that stuck with me in the last few years, I was really young when I started my first company, and I saw this left-right image. One said like what most people think about success, and it was like success, failure, and then it's like what entrepreneurs know is like it's failure, 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 and then success. So pivoting is an important part. You shouldn't get discouraged if things are going wrong, and even as you said, if they are going great, but you feel that it's not your passion, or you could be doing more, and you
Yeah,
feel that it's going to be probably out of focus, but then you think it well and it would add value, then probably you should, as you said, do that special and see how it works. And
yeah,
if there's
exactly.
that, why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you're right. If you're not having fun in what you're doing, people are going to see that. And if you're not jumping out of bed and excited to take on your day, then you're probably not in the right profession, right? You're probably not in the right, whatever you're talking about, right? You got to be excited to jump in today. I mean, yeah, there's always a day like, geez, I'm exhausted. I'm going to watch some Netflix and sit here and watch another, Netflix show or something. But you gotta be excited about your day, and I am. I mean, we're excited about everything we're doing, and we know there's so much new we're doing, gamification and other great things that are coming from us. So, I'm excited about everything about that.
That's
So
amazing. So where
cool,
can
Brian.
people go to find more about you and Echelon as well?
Yeah, at echelonfit.com. I mean, if you Google Echelon Fitness, you'll find us. I said we're in the US, we're in Canada, we're in Mexico, UK, Germany, France, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, and soon Japan. Actually, we just got in Dubai and United Arab Emirates as well. I just was actually at a trade show last week, meeting with our Dubai team, and again, just so exciting. I mean, that international culture and working with these people from all around the world is amazing. These customers and partners. But yeah, you can find us on the web and look for us in your retail stores as well. Look for Echelon.
That's great, Lou. Thanks for being on the show. You've been amazing.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, Brian.